Alright, Woodbridge.
You're full?
Yep.
Okay. How to vote? Oh my god!
This is Metro No Like Zinx on God, better known as Metro Bombing on God, or if you really know him, Habibi. Usually, Habibi's roleplay scenes start pretty simple. It's usually a traffic stop, a clean setup from cops, or a chase, and then it just stops looking simple, as you've just seen. He's really built a reputation off this pattern of escaping cops. In servers like GTRP and Nova, Habibi has become one of the people that people recognize just without any context. What people tend to focus on is the escape itself, the fact that he gets away, but if you slow it down, the interesting part is how he drives before things get desperate. Small adjustments, tiny corrections, and positioning that keeps options open even when the situation is getting worse. Unlike most, it doesn't really look like panic driving. It looks planned even while everything around him isn't. That's why clips of him spread so easily. And in some communities, that reputation got so strong it turned into accusations. Exploiting, macros, anything that tries to explain away the consistency. But that leaves the same question underneath all of it. What does that skill look like when you put it in a structured environment? Because ERLC doesn't only exist in pursuits. What the fuck was that? Oh my god, there's a still. Oh my god.
Holy cow.
Race League is where that question gets answered in a different setting. It's not just random servers or scattered encounters, it's the same drivers repeatedly over time. You don't get one highlight and leave, you get seasons, you get patterns, you get full races where mistakes don't just disappear after a lucky escape, and that's where the conversation around drivers like Habibi shapes a tiny bit. Because now it's not just about surviving the chaos, it's about holding the pace against people who are also pushing at the edge of control for an entire race. Seth's name shows up a lot in that environment. Not because of a single defining moment, but because of how often he ends up in the championship conversation across multiple seasons, starting from 2024. In his first season, before the Drivers' Championship was even created, he led his first team, the Lemons, to victory. Since then, he's been unstoppable. 2 Drivers' Championships out of the 3 possible since it was established means he is, on paper, the most dominant driver in Race League history, and in the one that he didn't win, he came second. He doesn't rely on one type of race to succeed, he just stays in the range where winning stays possible across most events through consistency. And in a league where everyone is pushing pace, that kind of stability starts to matter more than individual moments. Orban enters the conversation from a different angle entirely. At one point in Race League, he was the first person to use manual transmission in a way that wasn't common across most of the grid. Not as a preference, but it was a full commitment to racing with it, and over time it changed how his driving looked. Gear control became part of cornering instead of a separate action, and acceleration out of turns became more consistent in the ways that showed up over full laps, and other drivers noticed it quickly. And you can see that while looking at other drivers' onboards. All of them use manual gears. If you're not using manual gears, you're not quick. And every early driver point to him when they're talking about who changed the way. On his track, his style is very controlled and very low waste. Every movement feels like it has a purpose behind it. No small corrections mid-corners, as he just does it in the entry anyways. That type of driving tends to hold up across different seasons because it doesn't just depend on a single track type. Lamar again sits in a different position. In his second Race League season, he was already a world champion, and in the season before that, he was 10 points behind the championship. That alone puts him in a rare category. But what keeps his name at the front of discussions is now ongoing performance. He doesn't fade after the title, he stays active in current grids and continues to win races. Across different tracks, his pace doesn't swing much. In close battles, he stays consistent under pressure, and in clean air, he pulls results without needing risky moves. There's a directness to his driving. When he's in front, he tends to stay there, and when he's fighting for a position, mistakes are rare in those moments. That's why he's often treated as the current reference point in Race League. Not because of all of his past results alone, but because he's still producing them to this day, unlike others. When you line all of these 4 drivers up, it doesn't just turn into a simple ranking. They all come from different parts of ERLC. They've all got different reputations and they all had different paths into competitive racing, but they all ended up in the same space eventually, which is Race League.